Okay. Okay. We are officially live. We are officially on the internet.
All right.
Does everyone want to support their social media accounts and just text a photo of the chat to the internet? I'm going to do that real quick.
Text a photo.
Just going to post on my Instagram that we're live, baby. Oh, I got a good photo of Victor. Can y'all see that?
I can't see it.
It's
all
I'll tag you
grainy.
guys.
Okay.
We live, we live in at Blue Indeed.
Hello.
Howdy.
We are Blue
Discovered
Indeed.
At WikiLeaks. Discovered.
I wish I could be WikiLeaks.
So you could be in jail?
I want to make sure my social security card is nowhere near the camera.
Probably a healthy idea. Twitch.tv.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck.
Okay. The wine glass is in the photo
All
too,
right.
so it's classy.
As it should be.
All right, let's fucking do it.
All right.
Yeah. Yeehaw.
Okay, guys, this is Yves St. Clair here, and I've got the band Blue Indeed minus Nada. Say your name and say your instrument, starting with Victor.
Hello, my name is Victor Ramon. I am lead singer, guitarist, songwriter for Blue Indeed.
Now, John Boy.
I am Jonboy. I play the drums in Blue Indeed.
I'm Logan.
Oh, your mic's cutting out.
John Boy, no. Just
What?
Just be really
Can you hear
loud.
me?
Okay.
Just be like extra loud.
Just, yeah.
Okay. I'm Jonboy. I play the drums in Blue Indeed.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay. I, you, all, y'all. This is Blue Indeed. They come from Martinez, California. I don't know if you ever heard of that place, but I have. It's a nice place. They got food, water, drinks, marijuana. Soon
We
to
got
be.
a couple.
Let's just
We
start
got
it
some
off by this
things.
question. Are you guys excited for the dispensary to open up?
Of course.
I mean,
I can see it from my front lawn.
oh,
I'm a firm supporter.
Soon.
very near and dear to my heart.
Glad to hear that.
But not soon enough.
We got to get it out of the way. Coronavirus, COVID-19, quarantine. Talk to me. What have we been doing, Blue Indeed? Jerking off?
A whole.
There's
Oh my.
there's been a lot of jerking off, more drinking than I'd care to admit, more weed smoking than I'd care to admit, and not doing anything for my college classes.
Yeah. No, I mean, fuck
It's,
the Zoom
Until
meeting.
that hurts.
Oof.
Fuck the Zoom meeting. All right, well, I just wanted to, I like to kill all the shit that we, the current context, obviously, quarantine. Move on. Let's talk about Blue Indeed. Victor,
Well, yeah. Yes.
where did Blue Indeed start? What moment did you become alive?
Well, it goes back to with me and Nada. We met together. We met each other when we were 13, and we didn't really have any experience playing music. We didn't learn any instruments or anything like that. But the following year, when we started high school, we had gotten into Nirvana and like bands of that similar sort, like Mudhoney, and so we were just like, let's learn how to play some instruments. Let's start a band. And so initially I was going to learn how to play the piano, but then I ended up just transitioning to singing and playing the guitar. So, and then Nada took up the guitar very quickly, and I kind of learned from him. But we started playing open mics, just the two of us, for a long time, and we went by several different band names for like very many years before we settled on Blue Indeed.
Wow. I didn't actually know that you guys did open mics. What was that time period like? What were where like the coffee shop in Walnut Creek? Where were you going?
We played at this place called Rocks on Main in Martinez, and it was like a kind of a small plates restaurant, I guess, but they did this open mic every Thursday, and there was a pretty wide variety of shows that came, or like acts that were there, but mainly it was like a lot of blues, country, kind of folk stuff, and we were coming in playing like originals as well as covers, and it was a very exciting time. Every week we would play, so every week we would learn or we would write 3 more songs, and so we would have to have 15 minutes of stuff, and it really pushed us to like conquer our craft and our instruments, as well as getting used to performing in front of people.
Wow. I didn't actually know about that Martinez open mic. Is that still around? Or
no, unfortunately they closed up. Well, I do think they are open every so often now, but they closed up a few years ago, like I want to say a year or 2 ago, doing the open mics weekly. So, but we're grateful to have our start there.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's a classic, right? The band always seems to start with the open mic, and then you go from there. From what I've gathered so far, as a sort of around the musicians. When I hang around them, I mean, I went to a couple of open mics with Eli back in the day, and those were interesting.
Yeah, they're always a little nerve-wracking and a little fun.
Any funny story, real quick? Just like weirdest thing you ever saw at open mic, and that can go to anybody. Victor, Jonboy, Logan. Because I have some stories.
I have a story, but there's a lot of controversy surrounding it, so I'm actually not gonna say it. But if you know me and you know where I've been and what's happened, you probably know of it.
So it's an inside
That's all
joke
I'm gonna say.
for the listeners.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Good to hear.
Victor, do you remember
Yeah.
do you remember a few years ago, like it was like the last time we ever went to Rocks, there was this guy, he sang a song about a gun. Do you remember that?
His birthday gun.
Yes.
What?
That's right. So apparently this guy, he was like a middle-aged African American man. He seemed to be very like accomplished musically. He always talked about how he had like albums out and he worked with big name artists. And at the end of his set, or actually like throughout his set, funny that you brought this up, Jonboy. I was going to talk about the same guy. But throughout his set, he kept talking about how he worked with David Bowie, and I just was kind of dismissive about it. I was like, I wanted to be, optimistic, but, and eventually throughout his set, he starts singing this song about his birthday gun and how on his, I think, like, commemorating that he's become a man or something like that, and that it's his right as an American that, his father bought him this gun when he was a child, or to commemorate when he became a man. And it was just a very surreal experience because the song was kind of good.
Yeah.
Nice. A song about the birthday gun. Did you whip it out or just keep it?
I wish. Oh man, no! This was a family event. You couldn't whip it out.
Understandably.
All right, cool. I have not heard that story. Glad to know that there's a man out there with his birthday gun, scaring the people. No, I don't want to say that. But oh, sorry.
I wish I knew his name for you guys.
Yeah.
We'll just say it's Alex. Fuck you, Alex. Fuck you.
Alex Jones.
Not a related topic. Okay. Back to Blue Indeed. Back to the business of music, because that's all we're allowed to talk
yes.
about. All right.
Okay.
When did you realize that
confined.
the alphabet didn't start with A, it started with M for music? When did you start speaking the language of music?
I would today would have to be the day that I learned that.
Your English teacher didn't have you like do vocab words starting with the letter M like that. That was one of the things. Anyways, I've stopped ranting about myself because this is about you guys. Back to Blue Indeed. Now, Blue Indeed. I remember when there was controversy about the name Blue Indeed. Do you guys remember that time period when people were like, "Is it really gonna stay Blue Indeed or is it gonna change?" I like that you guys finally just did it. But what made that decision happen?
Oh my. Jonboy, this is you and I.
Yeah. We didn't really I don't know. I feel like we kept on going back and forth on it. And Victor and I had consistently had opposing opinions about it. I would change my mind and then they would change their mind at the same time. And we just couldn't seem to figure it out, but then finally we got to a point where we just settled on Blue Indeed. But the other name at the end I did really like, and I think I still want to use it for something in the future.
Could we hear that name for the fans?
Victor?
Yeah, absolutely. We do intend on using this for when we have to license our music and publish it. We still want to use a bit of this, but it's Tracy and the Good Griefs.
That's right.
That was the other name that we were teetering on for a long time.
Classic. I remember that. I would always be like, it's something in the somethings, and I can't remember exactly what it is.
Susie and the Banshees.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think we were in a Denny's after a show one night, and it was all four of us. And I remember having this conversation with all of us, and we had gotten fed up because we were like, well, I thought you wanted it like this. And I was like, no, but because I thought you wanted it like this. And we were all all right, well, whatever, we're just going to stay Blue Indeed and that's it. And it's not going to change. So we don't have to think about it anymore.
All the big conversations happen in Denny's.
Oh, yes.
True.
That's what they elect the next president. It's already been decided.
I did not know that Blue Indeed was decided in a Denny's. Good to know. Because I feel
it was a final decision. This name has been around for at least since I was 15 or 16.
Wow. I was doing a little Google searching. Found your guys' YouTube. Blue Indeed on YouTube 2017. Playing at the Gilman.
Oh my gosh.
A shout out 924 Gilman.
Yeah, you guys actually put the website in the description. I was like, yo, the support.
Oh man.
There's only one Gilman. They will always let you play there. They will always accept you. As long as you don't do some
Do we want to talk about it? Because it's kind of interesting. I mean,
it could be interesting, but I feel like it's something that we've been able to put in our shadow in terms of the scene.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that happened. We as a collective whole said our piece, and it's something we could put behind us, personally.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's move on.
But shout out to 924 Gilman. Yeah. We love those motherfuckers.
Speaking of Gilman, who in Gilman is your guys' supporter? How did you guys start playing shows there? Who made it happen for y'all? If we can get down to brass tacks.
I do believe in high school we just kind of solicited them, emailing them, hey, is there a show that we can any available dates? And we played a couple shows there, and then we started talking to Mari, who puts a lot of shows on there, as well as their partner, I believe Jackson. I could very well be getting it wrong now. But also one of my good friends from high school, Joey Miller, worked as a audio. I'm sure he still does sound there. But
yeah, I think he's still involved.
Yeah, for a good many years it was him too. But we always got invites to come back, and Jonboy, is there anything you'd like to add?
About Gilman?
Is it you guys' home turf venue, or is there a more local, a more homey spot for the band?
I would say most consistently you'll catch us at Honey Hive.
HH.
Most consistently.
The homie hive, really.
It officially is the homie hive.
It's a comfy place.
I think
It's just like your second home.
as
Yeah.
any tidbit to get out of this conversation, I mean, if any bands and up and coming people in the music industry, just email fucking venues. Like there's people there that
Yeah.
will help you. You know, they want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
fresh music, so just put yourself out there. You don't have to be fucking Guantanamo Bay, aka Green Day. Sorry, that was really fucked up. Didn't
No,
mean to
you're
call you
okay.
out, Green Day, but what the fuck?
You're on
We-
common ground.
You know, Green Day's
But,
gonna come and crack down on this podcast now.
They're gonna sue me, dude, for defamation.
Yeah, you're gonna get a cease and desist.
But,
Yeah.
but you know, I've met one of the guys' sons, Billy Joe Armstrong. Do you guys know about that whole situation?
I know that he has a
No,
band.
not really.
That's all I know.
Billy Joel has some kids, and our friend in the
Billy
Oakland
Joel.
area, who I will not specify specifically, but most of you have met him. I don't know if Logan's met this person, but they went to high school together with the kids of Green Day's parents. Or no, wait, that's not how that you say that. But you know what I mean. The kids of Billy Joel Armstrong, because he stayed in Oakland after the career of his. They're still making albums. Can I
Yeah.
get a review real quick? Blue Indeed reviewing Green Day's newest release.
It's all right. I mean,
4 out of 5.
what
4 out of 5.
Well-
Wow.
what was it?
That's
Revolution
me not
Radio?
listening to it.
Come on.
I mean, I just feel like you have to talk about Green Day when you talk about the Gilman. I mean, classic.
Oh yeah.
Connections.
I mean, absolutely. As much shit as we like to talk, like, you have to give credit where credit's due. They put Gilman on the map. They helped really bring out the scene in the area. Like, I'm very grateful for them for what they've been able to expose to the country. Like, there's a lot of great acts in our scene. Like, I think our scene, specifically like the Bay Area, it's like San Francisco, Oakland, East Bay, even, like, it's such a diverse group of musicians. Like, you can find every facet of every genre here, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's
So-
crazy. It doesn't even. It's not. It's obviously not New York or L.A., but it's still like it is a very cool scene that I feel like is very underrated. Like initially when I got into the like I didn't. It might not seem as accessible as it is because like there's no unifying like source in terms of the scene. Like there's the venues, Gilman, Honey Hive, Oakland Secret, etc. That like
Yeah.
the local shows happen at, but like I guess Slang Church is sort of a resource /
Yeah.
situation.
Shout out
Are
to
they a
Homie.
record label? What's the right way of describing them?
I
guys
do
know?
believe that they're a record label, and I do believe Joey Miller works for them as well.
Shout outs to Joey,
Shout out to the homie Joey.
legend.
Love you, buddy.
Have y'all ever been to his favorite burger joint, Tweaker?
Oh, what's his favorite? Tweak Burger?
Tweak Burger.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We have a healthy diet.
I grew up around the corner from Tweak Burger. That I used to get up there in the morning when I was a kid and go there and get a burger.
in the
It's like-
morning.
That
Morning
place is
burgers.
super nostalgic. Yeah, dude, I was that kind of
Oh,
kid.
they're 24 hours.
What?
Hmm.
The place is 24 hours, so hence why it's called Tweak Burger. So, we would go 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, go sit down and just hang out, do whatever we wanted after we were done doing, whatever.
Is that like the post gig spot? Would you guys ever go there after a gig?
Not quite. We usually went to Nada's garage and get really stupid high.
Speaking
That's how we
of
celebrate a good show.
420, 2 days away.
Oh, it's just around the corner.
I'm living in hell
excited.
because I broke my bowl piece, and I
Oh my! I'm sure Amazon has another one. As
I
much as
ordered
I hate
it.
Them,
I ordered it, but it's not gonna come in time.
All right. Oh, Yves, I'm so sorry. I'll drink to that.
Yeah, please. If anyone has a drink, Nazdarovia, Nazdarovia, which is
Well,
Russian.
what does that mean?
Russian for to your health, and they drink it, or they say it when they drink. So, fun fact.
Say it again.
Nazdarovia.
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 Do you know how to say? You know what to say in Spanish?
No.
Salud.
Salud?
Mhm.
Salud. Oh, well, you know, I think I've heard that before. I went to a Spanish restaurant or two in my life, so shout outs.
Oh my. Oh you.
Tapas. Avocado toast. That's not about the music industry, though. Let's get back on topic. Now, Blue Indeed, you guys have been playing music since you were kids, but what keeps you going as adults?
Music.
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem like it'd be that simple, but really it's just being able to get together with people and create. It's like, I don't know about y'all, but every day I'd just be thinking about something like, oh, I want to make something. I want to make something. I don't know. It just feels like there's a part of me that's like, that needs to get out. And I guess music's a nice way to do that. And it just feels good.
That's awesome.
I feel that. I agree. I feel like there's something like really great, like just an amazing feeling that comes with like playing music with people that you mesh well with. And I'm really fortunate to have kind of like become a part of this unit because these are the funnest people I've ever jammed with in my life. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I just love playing with this band, and that's kind of what keeps me doing it, is I'm like, oh dude, I get to go back and make music. That's great. And that kind of, I don't know, it's something to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess what I find so exciting, especially about like in context of our band, is there's no limits. We kind of allow each member to do as they please. You know, if we come to a band practice and somebody has an idea, nobody's ever reluctant to try that idea. And no matter how far-fetched it is, or if it's like completely like dissonant, like whatever, we're gonna try it. It's so I feel like for all of us, it's a great creative outlet, because sometimes you don't always have the support of people around you to do what you need to in order to get like to the nuggets of the goodness. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. That's really good to hear.
You have to wait.
Go ahead.
You gotta wade through all the shit to get to the nugget.
That's a way to put it.
Well, that seems really healthy to have a really strong like. No, there's no wrong answers. There's no wrong questions. There's just putting shit out there, and if it lands, it lands. But like, we're gonna throw it either way. You know, It's not about
Exactly.
being.
Yeah, no, that's
overly
what I love.
analytical.
That's what I love about this band. I mean, as a new member, one thing that I always find very inviting is the fact that bands, or not the fact that, but that you'll find bands where it's like, you could throw the fucking dumbest thing at them and go like, let's try this. And they'll be like, yeah, let's do it. And they'll be there to tell you like, maybe not. Or like, we can do something with this. Like, it's really nice. Like, even if it's like, man, my idea didn't make it, whatever. It's like, there's going to be more ideas. And it's always nice to have people supporting you on that.
That's awesome. If I may ask, where do you guys typically go to get those ideas to bring to the table, to bring to the garage, or wherever? Where does that come from?
Anybody want to start?
Are we talking about like?
I'm talking about
You
music.
can go ahead and start. I
want
want
to hear you.
I could give myself like an example would be like sort of like, you know, you can't force yourself to be creative, but there are things that we do that lead us to find like inspiring ideas and moments of clarity when it comes to creation. So what I guess I'm asking is where do you guys go when you want to find some inspiration, find some interesting ideas?
I suppose for me, it's like as cliched as it is, like I go back and listen to some of my favorite records. You know, particularly for me being a rhythm guitarist, I try to listen, when I listen to my favorite tracks, I listen specifically to what the guitarist is doing, not the lead guitarist, but what the rhythm is doing, so I can figure out best, like, oh, you know, that was a really smart idea, like I would have never thought of moving to that chord, or like changing the rhythm here, or like a picking pattern or something like that can always excite me. I'm particularly fascinated with pedals, so I'm at this point now with the guitar. I'm pretty good. I can kind of like. I feel like I can adequately express myself on the guitar and then the instrument that I do. So it's more about my sound now, and I'm excited to come every Friday to our band practice with like my pedal set up, and I've been thinking about what I'm going to do for these songs, or like we're a highly improvisational band, so every time we come to a band practice, the songs are a little different, or we'll have like half an hour long jams sometimes where we're just kind of going through ideas. And I suppose for me that's really helpful to stay motivated, as to not feel like I'm being caged in by anything.
That's awesome. Does anyone else have anything to add to that? Jonboy, Logan?
I mean, if you want to, Jonboy, I saw you were getting ready to say something.
No, go ahead, Logan.
Oh, okay. For me, I don't particularly look anywhere for inspiration. It's more of like I'll be sitting somewhere, and it could be like a YouTube video I'm watching or something. Like I watch a lot of live streams that are just like, let's sit and talk, and I'll just be listening to someone talk, and I'll hear something they say, and I'll be like, I'll just get something, and I'm like, I want to brute force this, because I'm no music genius. I don't know how to express myself through music very well, but I'll just sit down with my guitar for an hour just thinking about this one phrase and like how it kind of fits musically, and I'll just keep going until I'm like, this is what fits the phrase. Or other times I'll be reading a book and I'll be like, wow, that's a really nice like quote, I want to write that down later, and I'll just go through a list of quotes or random things I think of and go, maybe I can put music to this and see.
Wow.
And just see where I end up.
That's really cool.
It's just really fun. You find inspiration in places you'll never expect it. And I don't know, I just like capitalizing on that.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Jonboy?
That's what I'm talking about.
Jonboy?
I would say, as of late, the things that have inspired me the most have been like like singers and guitarists rather than like drummers, which I feel like really what I do to like create to get in that headspace is I'll listen to something that like inspires me, like maybe like David Bowie or something like that, and I'll kind of like try to feel and capture that emotion. And it's in the way that an artist captures a feeling, and then when you listen to that you can like try to go back and like exert it. And for me, like when I'm playing the drums, I'm really trying to serve the music and feeling a certain way, and listening to new artists and even listening to artists that I've heard a million times can really like help me figure out how to exert that.
Wow. Beautiful. You guys are
Nice.
You're inspiring me. I don't even really, I mean, like I have Ableton, but we'll get there.
I know that one.
You mentioned David Bowie. I'm kind of curious. I mean, what would be in the Wikipedia link for influences?
Oh my! I feel like
it's a long list.
It's a very long
Make
list.
it 5
Yeah.
each.
5 each?
5 each.
If you
5
can,
each.
in the moment. Obviously, I should just
Oh.
throw that at you, but just give me 5 if you can.
Jonboy, do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
You go first. I'm gonna try to not repeat anything you've said.
Okay. Well, obviously I'll have to go back to my roots with Nirvana. Like, I've been a diehard Beatles fan my entire life, so obviously I will always look up to the Beatles. That's gonna be an obvious influence. Arctic Monkeys, another huge influence for me. Alex Turner was a big role model for me personally. There's Jeff Buckley. I'm trying to think of another one without taking enough from Jonboy. But Radiohead, I would say, is probably another really, really huge one for us.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Jonboy?
St. Vincent.
St.
Um,
Vincent?
Yes. And Bjork, and we all really like Death Grips.
Yeah.
Death Grips is love
That's
'em.
it's got an interesting place in
Yo.
my heart. Yo.
Grandma's teeth is falling now.
That inspire our music, whereas the things that Johnny listed are things that are. So I guess like we're not just musicians, we're also music lovers. So I guess if we were to list things that like actually inspire us, like when we're writing lately, I know for me and Logan it's a little bit of Black Midi.
Yeah, definitely.
You say Black Midi?
Yeah.
Cool, your mic just cut out.
I've heard of
That's
this
all
band, but I haven't quite gotten into them yet. It's a cool band though. I'm
Oh,
sure.
they're pretty dope.
They've got some interesting ideas.
Mm-hmm.
They're very experimental and very fun to listen to. A lot of things you wouldn't expect, and I guarantee you, on some songs you'll listen to it and you'll think, "There's no fucking way they're musicians." But then you keep listening to the song and you're like, they're just putting on a mask of like, "Yeah, we aren't musicians," and then they fucking blow you away. It's crazy.
Wow.
I do have to say though, as well as them, in the last like year or so, it's been a lot of like Devo and Talking Heads and things like that as well.
Adrian Belew, King Crimson.
Classics.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff in there. But Bowie, specifically for Jonboy and I, Bowie's
yeah.
been like exceptionally huge the last like 2-3 years. Slint, I would say, is another big one.
Oh yeah.
Man, I'm just trying to think of like everything
It's okay.
that captures us.
I mean, that's the thing, is they're the influences, but you guys are your own people too. I mean, as much as music already existed before you guys existed, you guys still exist separate from music existing. That was the word existed 6 times in a row.
All right, Logan, what about you?
Logan?
What about your 5?
Specifically for this band, you guys covered all the bases because new member, I'm not really well versed in it. Like, shit, I very recently started listening to Bjork because of you guys. I very recently started listening to St. Vincent because of you guys. But I mean, I've got more personal examples if you'd like.
Please.
Like a big one for me, because I'm a relatively new bass player. I started out as a guitar player, but a few years ago I ended up picking it up. But one of the big inspirations for me during my time learning it was Muse. I really enjoyed the bass playing on Muse albums. My guitar teacher was like telling me, "Oh, if you're getting into bass, you should listen to Primus because that's some weird shit." And that was like my first delve into like weird music. And then very recently I've of course, like everyone's been saying, like we've gotten pretty confident with our instruments. I've got myself a nice little pedal setup, and I've been getting really into things like post-rock and shoegaze, just very airy music that's super
shoegaze.
like focused more on, I guess, the atmosphere rather than the direct meaning. And so I've got a couple pedals to convey that. Let's see. One Outlander one that's always kind of stuck with me is a J-rock band called The Pillows. I
know
got
The
into them a
Pillows.
while ago.
They're cool.
Hell yeah! Awesome! Oh, that makes me feel really good. Oh, you have no idea. I bring it up to people and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But
One of my
no,
friends
yeah,
is the Pillows.
I was big into their music, and even though they've technically not had a bass player for like 15 years, the bass lines in their songs are really nice and really interesting. So I tend to like pick them apart and go like, wow, that's really interesting. So I try to apply that to my playing and see what I can do with it in a band context with all you guys.
Fire. And I feel like, those were all perfect, serious answers. But someone in the Twitch chat, known as Lil Space Donkey,
Oh, hey, that's my brother. Shout out to my brother. AJ.
Hey, AJ has wanted Din on SoundCloud, so that's just what I'm.
Oh, we have to do that. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do that, man. I got you.
Come
We
on.
forget about SoundCloud, to be honest.
There's another thing on there, but I don't really want to say it because it's goofy, man. I don't want to say goofy
Say it.
shit.
It's goofy shit.
It
live
says
for
me and
goofy
Jonboy are pee-pee pals.
Ooh.
Who sent that?
Lil Space Donkey. AJ.
Ah.
Can I get a mic
Oh.
check? Mic check.
Chug, chug.
Check mic. Check.
Check,
1, 2,
check.
3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, thanks for that, AJ. I appreciate you so much.
A day one. A literal day one homie right there.
I love it. Okay, what's next?
What's next is well, I guess we've covered a lot of the important sort of basic things, getting to know Blue and D, getting to know the band. I mean, you guys are describing yourselves as psychedelic. What?
We are Cro-Magnon rock,
Cro-Magnon rock.
degenerate pop.
Degenerate pop.
Yes, that's.
I'll
how
put
we
that
would
on the
like to
description
be-
on Instagram.
That's what we would prefer to be categorized as. But if we're speaking more realistically, I would say we're definitely like indie, art rock, alternative, shoegaze, jazz.
New wave.
I hate
wave.
describing music in genres. I just don't enjoy it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not fun. Especially if you're not like a
that's
really
why we-
well-established artist, because it's like, I don't know. Someone else will decide.
Right.
It's just kind of like umbrella terms at this point.
There's so many.
Right. Just
Music has
a-
evolved so much to where it's like there's no more one category. It's like, do you have a guitar in your music? Is your music, are you sampling stuff? It's like you have to go off of like pieces of it. You can no longer go off of a genre, save for very specific instances.
Right. When something's more classic, like traditional, like rock bands or blues artists or folk or whatever, that's definitely
Yeah.
pretty. You're playing within a genre, but where I would say we try to fuse a little bit of everything that we can into rock. I guess that's the one thing that we're rooted in is rock music.
Yeah, that's definitely where it lands.
I always get
But-
confused with rock because I feel like to me rock stopped existing after the 70s, but I don't like we're all in post-rock. There's still like rock style, but I don't know.
It's really
Agreed.
weird.
It's weird.
Mhm.
Well,
Well, I mean,
go ahead.
that's the thing. Is like, that's the thing. Like, I take a lot of influence from like late '60s, early '70s artists. So that's where personally I say that's rooted in rock. Is like that's what I go back to at the end of the day. Like, if I want to get inspired, I go to a Beatles song, and I'm like, damn, that was a beautiful chord progression. How the fuck do I do that?
Hell yeah. Well, I think we've done a lot of good covering of Blue and D, but what I'm kind of curious about is what is the goals now? What's the dream? You guys just put out a release, pretty sick, but I think those were all songs you've been doing for a minute. So what's coming down the pipeline? What's the future like?
Well, yeah, like you just touched on, like we just released an album, Din. Come stream it on all music platforms. It's a little fucked up at the moment because it's Spotify thought that it was a collaboration between two artists, Blue and Indeed, when in fact we are Blue Indeed.
Because
And-
the comma,
but-
it was the comma.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We didn't see that
The
coming.
comma fucked it up. You know what it is, guys, is commas don't work in URLs. You can't use commas in like certain
Shit.
like file names and stuff like that. So that's probably what.
Yeah.
Man.
We usually forego the commas in that situation, but we didn't figure that we needed to this one. It's like, that's how we like to spell our name.
Exactly. Well, that makes you guys kind of
Yeats.
unique, the comma, in a way.
Have you ever heard of Blue?
I have not.
No,
Yeah,
they're
I
a
didn't,
boy
I didn't
band.
even know them until this whole ordeal even happened.
Where are
They
they
are a
from?
boy band, and
UK.
yes,
UK
they're
boy
from the
band,
UK.
They're from the UK.
And right now our album is on the top of their Spotify page.
Are they gonna be pissed about that?
They have 2 million
it's not our
monthly
fault.
listeners.
Yeah.
It's like
So I'm sure we're getting some streams, but like that was DistroKid, not us.
Damn.
yeah.
Without the DistroKid, like nobody checked that.
What's
You
up?
know,
I'm gonna
no one
call
was like,
right
wait,
now.
Yeah, like
what?
they took
It
took
I'll
a couple
leave
weeks
just a
for
little
us
bit.
to like
Get up
do
to
it as
Let me-
well. So
It had to be approved.
Oh,
So
exactly. So I figured like they would have done their double checking.
their
and
due
been like,
diligence.
"Bro, is this-" Yeah, but anyway, we're working on a few more songs right now.
Cool
We
stuff.
have like several in the works. Like I would say like 8 or 9 in the works right now. But we definitely
We always
won't be
do
back
this
in
to
this-
ourselves.
Yeah, we put a bunch of songs on and we like whittle our way down
Yeah.
to like the final structures of them.
I mean, that's
But even then, they're never finalized.
a really good way of doing it. I think. I mean, you look at not to be weird, but Thriller had 1,000 songs. They wrote 1,000 songs for Thriller. I should
kidding.
stop whispering. Yeah, no, I mean, like musicians.
I like the Whispering Eves.
They do. Thank you. You have to respect the effort. You have to put a lot of time into it to really find that. I mean, at least in my opinion, I think the work is what comes out of good music, or like good music comes out of putting in the time and the effort and the practice and the growth and the hours and hours and hours of just learning and learning and learning, because you can't expect to figure it out in a minute, you know. And like so many people have already like done that, you know. Like we exist now in 2020 where like musicians, not to say not in a bad way, but they're a dime a dozen. There are a fucking lot of people on Spotify, you know. And so it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Absolutely.
that's who you're sort of in competition with, in a sense, if you want to do it as a career. So realizing that so many people exist, it just means now you have to be that much better, you know, and like be a little bit what makes Blue Indeed special, I guess. Like that's my next question. What makes you guys magic? If you can
Well,
answer Fred's.
if I may, I've got an interesting, or I don't know if it's an interesting take on this, but I mean, you were mentioning like musicians are a dime a dozen, and I, for one, couldn't agree more. There's too many. It's an oversaturated market, but I feel like the reason it's oversaturated is because there are people with a skewed view of what it means to be a musician. And again, that's going to the whole idea of like, I want to be famous. I want to be the next Green Day. I want to be the next Post Malone. I want to be the next Eminem. I want to be the next whoever. And that's a lot of things that you have to take into account. For me, at least, I can say there's no I want to be the next. It's not a matter of becoming another of something. Like if we were to say something like, oh, we want to be the next David Bowie. It's like, you can't be the next David Bowie. David Bowie is David Bowie. We want to be the first Blue Indeed. That's what I'd say. It's a lot of people trying to make it because of an idea of like, this is an easy way to get money. And I disagree.
is
I
not
heavily
an easy way
disagree.
to
Most
get money.
musicians, look, if you want to make money, get a fucking degree, a bachelor's in business, and go into corporations. Do that and get your Teslas, get your cars, get your houses, get your American dream house with a dog and a wife and 1 kid, and retire at 65. No, this is. I'd say what makes us unique. I'd say what makes us unique is our inhibition, really, our enthusiasm towards just doing things. Like if we have something weird, we'll throw it on the table, and more often than not, such a weird thing will stick, and we'll keep rolling with it, and we'll keep improving on it. And I'll say improving in this case probably means making it weirder. But
Yeah.
it I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, we're so quirky, but it's like we just have fun fucking around with stuff. Woo, we're so quirky.
I mean, we're really living in a special age in the sense where like weird music has an audience now. Not to call it like weird in a bad way, but sort of like even though there is a lot of bands now, there's also a lot more options for scenes to grow, and so you have people like
Yeah.
Death Grips, which I know a good 99% of the population probably wouldn't like it on the first listen, you know, but you can actually still be a successful musician and artist despite the fact that what you're making isn't necessarily gonna be for everyone, versus like, you know, maybe you go back a few years or whatever, and there's really not as much of a market because there's only vinyl records going out. That's like the only way you make money and shows, versus now it's like there's so many more ways to sort of sustain a career if you can get even a small following. Like, as long as they're around, like they support you, then you're supported.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways to get sources of income, but they're small sources.
Yeah, exactly. That's
No, people have this different idea of what it means to be a successful musician. Like, you look at people like Kanye and having like a lot of money and a brand, and it's like, you can call that being a successful musician, but in my eyes, I'd almost want to call it like being a successful brand.
Yeah, like
Not less of a
entrepreneur.
musician. Yeah. And I mean, that's no shade to Kanye. I'll respect him for what he does, and I'll leave that at that. But but no, it's having this idea of what being a successful musician means. Like, I could take my guitar teacher, for example. He's living with like 4 other people, and he's in a band that does avant-garde ballet, and they do
Beautiful.
music for all of that, and it's crazy, and I love it. And he's not living like super lavish. He's not in a big house. He doesn't have like riches beyond belief. He still drives a fucking Toyota Camry 1996. It's not like being a successful musician isn't about the car you drive or the shoes you wear. It's about the music you make and the people that appreciate it. That's what I see it as.
Enough said.
Hell yeah, brother.
Thank you.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up for me. I mean, yeah, no, that's a really healthy mindset, I think, because there's no guarantees. So it's finding what you can to make work so that you can enjoy your life as much as possible. Because that's, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but to me, it's not about the money. It's about every day, every moment that you're living. That is it. Are you doing what you want to do, or are you doing what you have to do because you have this perceived ideal in civilization and in culture that like this is what we're supposed to do?
I will agree.
But
with
I would say most musicians are not those people, especially if you're not like trying to make top 40, you know, because it is sort of a weird time now where like music did have a dip post post Napster, and so the amount of money that exists is less, but it's a lot more kind of spread out, it feels like, except when you talk about like the really rich. I mean, that has just gotten way smaller. But I hope to hear that Blue Indeed is still around in like 5 years. Is that crazy?
No, that's what we hope for as well.
Yeah.
And how are you guys going to
Like-
make that dream come true, like continuing to be a band in the long term?
I think the first step to that is furthering our audience. You know, we're gonna keep making the music that we make. We're gonna make it available. We're never gonna, like, speaking for myself, I know the band doesn't always agree with me on this one, but like at this point, like, I don't really want to like charge people for my music. I don't find that it's necessary to. So like, I'm always gonna be making this music. If I can make it available to you guys, I would love it. So I guess for me, it's that I just want to try to reach a broader audience to enjoy it.
Yeah,
Just try to
no,
make fun, weird music.
I totally agree with that.
Yes. Jonboy, anything?
Yes.
May you repeat the question, please?
Oh, I didn't ask a specific question. I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on the whole like Blue Indeed as a long-lasting brand, or I'm saying brand as a band, as artists.
We are a brand.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
By our shirts.
Bring it to your home.
I mean, that is true.
We I think a lot of it is just like making sure that we like formulate like good relationships with each other, which we normally tend to do. And I think a lot of the reason that things have worked out as well as they have with us is because we've been together a long time, and we tend to treat each other well. we are open to hearing each other and what we have to say, and we're kind of like, I don't know, I love these guys, and I think
Aw.
that makes
I
it
love you too, Jonboy.
I think that makes it really easy to see myself still being with them further on down the road, because it's they've been such like a positive force in my life, so I don't foresee that really going away anytime soon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, if you guys are homies for life,
Yeah.
then you're homies for life. That's what's up. That should be all good then. You should be Jay chillin'.
Yeah,
Straight up.
exactly.
My perspective is like,
Beautiful.
as long as you guys keep enjoying the experience, it'll happen. It'll happen in some way or another. As long as you keep trying and keep being creative and interesting, it doesn't. Who knows what the specific formula is, or the specific iteration of Blue Indeed that will eventually, maybe like be able to be a main source of income rather than having to do like coffee shop work or whatever, or like getting a normal job. And I don't even want to call it a normal job, just like any non-music based job. But to me, it's like, if you guys put the time in and keep doing it and keep rethinking it and finding a new perspective on it, because as long as you avoid that sort of reality of like, there's only one way we're going to exist and we're only going to do one thing, and that is not the move to me. I feel like you have to really keep throwing new and interesting things at the wall and see what it sticks. And clearly that's something you guys are doing, because as we've even talked about in this interview, it's just like bringing new and fresh ideas is constantly happening and everyone's willing to collaborate. So I think you guys have a real good shot as long as you keep that motivation, keep that effort, and keep that integrity with each other. As long as the love is real and it keeps being real, then there's a real fucking chance to me, because you're just going to get better and better as musicians. You're just going to keep learning so much more, and you're honestly all very, very young, so just remember that, and give yourself time. Keep going. Motivational speech number 3, number 4. But yeah, no, Blue Indeed, I mean, I love you guys. You guys are like my first homie band, like my OGs. So
Yeah. We met you a few years ago at that
it's
house show.
crazy to
First
think
options
about.
put on.
Yeah. Shout outs to that
Yeah.
show. Shout outs to Brandon. Or Brendan, I'm sorry.
Who
I
else
always-
played that day? Juhan played?
Yeah,
Remember
dude,
those
he
people?
was my episode 2.
Yeah, I saw.
I'll probably maybe
He's
have
very excited
Mario
to
at
see
some
them.
point, or the people from.
Oh, hell yeah. Get us on that.
Oh, you need another show or another interview? You want to be on the interview with
With Mario?
with Gray Area?
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be
We did
interesting.
a collab with Mario and Samira a while
Hell
back.
yeah. Marcy, shout outs. I mean, they're
Marcy,
on a
that's
beautiful
what she does
path
well.
too.
Oh, I love what Marcy's doing
Super
up there, Davis.
And then just to sort of round it out, I kind of like asking a couple fun questions as we round. Because the show's an hour long and we're like a few minutes away from an hour. So, favorite moment playing live that you guys have ever experienced? Like any funny experience or any memorable, like what comes immediately to your head when you think about playing on stage? Logan
For me,
or Victor?
Logan, go for it.
I
Logan.
have one from what?
Victor, go ahead, Logan. Sorry.
What? I mean, for me, this wasn't in Blue Indeed. I've been in a couple bands, surprise, surprise. But there was a specific show. It was a battle of the bands with a previous band I was in, and we ended up winning, and it was really cool because not because of like, oh, we won like $300, but because we had a lot of people there that were like, this is really cool. We really like what you're doing. And it was honestly just a really surreal experience to see like a number of like maybe like 50 to 75 people quantified in a room. It was kind of crazy to me to go like, you see bands like on Instagram, something like, I don't know, Delta Sleep with like over tens of thousands of Instagram followers, and then you end up seeing like a small fraction of that in a room, and it just sets your perspective. Like when you see someone that's like, oh, they only have 200 followers or 200 fans or 200 listens on Spotify or SoundCloud, it really gives you an idea of how to like quantify it. It's like, that's a lot of people. And up until then, I hadn't really realized it. And it really put a smile on my face to know, like, there's this many people that are like, you can do it. Like, this is real. And it was a really surreal moment to me. And it kind of keeps me going every day to go, like, there's some people that'll enjoy it. And again, that's not saying it needs to be a big crowd, but it's really nice to see, like, the fruits of your labor. It's really nice to see it. Support, if you like a band, support it.
Hell yeah.
Because I can damn well say they'll appreciate it.
Hell yeah. There's nothing better I like than like going up there, introducing myself to the crowd, and like seeing new people. Like obviously, I know certain people who will show up to our shows every time. You know, you being one of them. I always know I can count on you, expecting.
I usually am late, unfortunately.
You know,
but I try. SF is fucking a pain to get to.
Oh
Yeah.
God, you're telling me.
We've had our horror
if we didn't have to get
stories.
there early, yeah. If we didn't have to get there early, we would always be late as well.
It's funny because now with Corona, it's actually not that bad. The Bay Bridge is actually.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it takes like 30 minutes to get there, at least from my area.
Yeah, same.
But
Jonboy, any specific experience, any moment memorable to the live stage?
A lot of them. This one's a little bit corny. I met my girlfriend at a Honey Hive show that we played, and so there was we all know John Bunting tunes.
Yo, John Bunting.
Shout out to the
Yep.
homeboy John Bunting.
John Bunting Tunes on Instagram.
Yes. He I think he's got an EP coming out soon. He
Are you on that EP?
On one or two of the songs, yes.
Yeah, you get it, bro. Come on, you're on it. Stand out.
Shout out to John Bunting's new EP. I'm on it. But he was playing before us, and I was trying to like take a picture of him, put on Instagram, and there's this girl next to me, and she says, "Hey, I can give you his Instagram." And what I didn't know at the time was that she was trying to talk to me, because I don't think that any girl's ever trying to talk to me. And as we were playing, I kept on looking up, and she was just like looking at me, and I was like, okay. And then we started talking after the show, and we never stopped talking. But that was a very nice, memorable moment for me playing live, was like looking up and like seeing somebody looking at you and going like, I don't know, it's kind of like a confidence booster. It's like, okay, now I like, you know, it kind of pushes you into a mode where like, oh, I'm not just playing music, I'm like putting on a show.
And y'all do put on a show. That last one we did with the with Paper Girl and Stony Hawk and fuck, what was that?
That was a fun
That
one.
was great.
Yeah,
I was so
fun.
happy to be playing with Sony with Paper Girl. I had been looking forward to seeing them for so long.
Oh my god, that's a memorable show for me.
Yeah, we got a lot of people
Yeah.
out to that show. That was a sick show.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking all the
Yeah,
different
no.
sounds. You guys were actually like probably one of my I think I would say honestly, like I love Elliot, but like he didn't do an amazing job. You guys did like such a performance. Such an experience. Like I was like, damn, you guys are really going somewhere. Like this is gonna catch on because the skill set is just getting better every time I see you guys play. It's like an improvement.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Of course.
That's because we jerk off so much.
Yeah, gotta
We
get
brought it back
Stay
around.
Stay calm. Twice a day. But yeah,
Yeah,
well,
man.
that's pretty much it. We've hit that hour mark just about. Is there any quick shout outs? Anything you guys needed to put out there to the world? I mean, I'm satisfied.
Our Instagram, Blue Indeed Band. Hit us up.
It's on the
for whatever you
stream.
need.
Click it. I'll type it in the
Or
chat
else-
for your one. I believe AJ is the only watcher right now, but we'll still put it out there.
Hell yeah.
AJ, I love you.
You can stare
Thank
at
you,
you
brother.
guys' posts.
Much love.
But man, I don't know. Give Din a listen. You know, tell people to listen to it. Have a good time, everybody.
Fuck yeah.
We are
Fuck
Blue
yeah.
Indeed.
And I'm sure you guys will have some shows once Corona kicks the fuck out of here.
God, I
Oh, yeah.
don't know what the music scene's gonna look like after this. It's gonna be so.
It's
great.
gonna be weird.
We're gonna have-
It's gonna be so weird.
We're
But
gonna have everyone coming out and seeing the sunlight and just absolute vampires, just like, oh Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
yes.
you know,
Is this what we were doing?
ah.
How did we ever do
if
this?
you guys are smart, if you get on the bill for like one of the first shows, it's gonna be lit.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be fucking lit.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So-
big. Yeah.
Maybe like start talking to homies now. Like anyway, I'll just end the stream. Good night, y'all. We'll keep talking after this if you guys want it, but I just wanted to encapsulate it before I give away my trade secrets. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And we'll be back next Saturday at 5 p.m. This has been Growth Spurts episode number 4 with the wonderful Blue Indeed. Goodbye. Okay, ended the stream.
All right.
Cool.